Good evening. I'm Catherine Melanda, the principal here at Walton High School, and I want to welcome you to our first transition meeting for the class of 2026. That seems kind of unbelievable, and I'm sure for many of you parents, you're thinking, how did we get here? But here we are, and we want to start talking about high school. Tonight, our purpose really is to talk about the overall school program, academics, extracurriculars. This is kind of just the first step to give you the big overall picture of what Walton has to offer. When you think about, we are a very large school, almost 2,700, and when you think about the bonuses of a very large school is we just have so many opportunities. There are many things our students can get involved in. I came back a little early, had run out, came back, walked down the hall to watch a little volleyball state championship has started today, and I'm coming back and I look to my left. There are girls spring sports doing weight training. Here comes the Science Olympiad past me with their kits ready to go out and work on some things. Robotics is down there. There were some kids sitting in the rotunda. This is just a busy place all of the time. And that's wonderful because there's a place for your child and there's opportunities for them. Tonight, we're going to kind of go through the academics, the extracurriculars, the athletics. And as you're listening, I want you to consider what would be best for your child. Every child is different. If this is your second child in high school, they may be different than the older sibling. Your child's going to be different from the neighbor. We want you to take in, and you're going to help guide them. So if you have an idea of the entire school program, as we get into the specifics as we go on, you'll be able to guide them on what are the best options for them. So tonight we're going to talk about in academics, what are graduation requirements? What classes do kids have to graduate from high school? What courses do we offer and what levels of courses do we offer? And what are the electives and other opportunities we have academically? Activities and clubs. We have over 65 clubs, both interest and community service, plus our co-curriculars in the fine arts program. We're going to talk about all of those. And athletics. We have 21 varsity teams, 44 teams total covering 17 sports. Our Director's Cup is something that talks about, ranks the overall best high school program. I want to talk a little bit about that. And we have had 79 state championships in the history of our school. So like I said, today is just the beginning. We like to meet in October. I feel like things are better if I digest them in smaller chunks. So today we're going to talk about the overall program. If your child is interested in the STEM Academy, which I'll talk about, that meeting would be on November 11th. The International Spanish Academy Information Night is on November 18th. The first day of March, you're going to get all your materials to go home to register for classes for high school. And that's kind of what we're trying to get prepared for. On March 8th, we're going to have a meeting that is specifically only about those high school classes, how to have your students start out as a freshman in the right spaces. And our department chairs are going to be help there that night to really help you with specific questions. And then March 16th is when all of our registration materials are due. You've got till May 1st to sign waivers. We'll meet again in July all together. Usually if school starts on a Monday, it's Thursday morning. We'll let you know exact dates as we get closer. And I'm going to talk to you specifically about how to navigate the first few weeks of school as a parent. How do you check students in and out? How do they get lunch? Things of that nature. And then we'll meet in September and we'll start talking about, okay, now that your freshmen are here 6 weeks and they're settled, where are we going? That's our transition plan. And I think by the time you reach September, you'll be very well informed about everything Walton. So let's look at a typical day for a Walton High School student. I will say we have 2,689 students right now. So everyone's day looks a little different, but everyone does have 7 periods and then you see homeroom at the end of the day. And they have a full lunch. That's a great time, 52 minutes every day, where they can socialize, eat lunch. Many students get some homework done. Our classes meet every single day. At the end of the first semester in December, we post grades to transcripts. Students earn half a unit of credit in each one of their courses. And then in January, they come back and they have a whole new schedule. We think that's really important. It changes the dynamic in the classroom. They may meet different teachers. They may meet different students, gives them a different experience, which is like the college setting. So we're kind of preparing them early. Students may take electives that only meet first semester. For example, this student in this case is taking health. That's a 1 semester course. So in the spring, she'll be taking something besides health, whereas all of our other classes go the whole year long. I think there's also something really important to know about the traditional schedule. If you know anything about the Cobb County School District, Walton, Pope, and Lassiter are on the traditional day, and all other schools are on the block schedule. One of the reasons we kept with the traditional day many years ago when block schedule became kind of the thing to change to in this district was because there's more seat time. Students actually have more interaction with their teacher per class, which allows us to go deeper into the material, which we think is something that's very important for our students. So you're sitting here and you're thinking, okay, it's almost a year off till high school. Why are we meeting now? Well, one of the most important things right now is to not make decisions about the future, but it's really just to get an understanding and to make sure your students are doing the best they can in 8th grade. We are all coming off the pandemic. It has definitely been an adjustment, especially if your students stayed remote all year last year. So really what's most important is they do their best so that we can help them make the best choices moving forward. The EOG scores in their language arts and their math class in 8th grade will determine whether or not they're promoted to high school. But placement in courses is really based upon the assessments of the grades earned in middle school. Those quizzes and tests without remediation, what kind of grades are they getting? That's the best indicator of how they're going to do when they get here. So we want our students to take 8th grade very seriously, work very hard so that those grades are indicative of their abilities, so we place them in the right classes. So how we place kids is we are very data driven. Every year we take our current 9th graders and we pull out the data and we say, okay, based on, we compare, how did they do in 8th grade? What class did they take in 8th grade? How did they do in 9th grade? What class did they do in 9th grade? Are we giving people the best advice? Where will they be successful? Because the whole idea is to come to high school and start strong. So we make a rubric for the middle school teachers and we say, based on the data we have, and we are doing this every year, so we have historical data for many years, where will a student do the best? What's the best placement for them based on their 8th grade? We share that with the middle school teachers and they use that to place them. Now, as you know, I just said that registration starts in March. Sometimes between March and May, students make a change in their grades, and then the teachers can readjust that with us if they see any changes. But it really is based on that data driven because we want to make sure we're getting students placed properly. The other thing that's really important is that in high school, they can take different levels classes in their core classes based on their interest. I was a complete math and science person. I did not take any honors classes in English in the humanities areas as a freshman. It was just not for me. But after freshman year, I was like, okay, I'm ready to try this in English. And so I tried, an English honors class. And then by junior year, I'm like, okay, I'm going to now add US history. You have to grow, you have to develop, and you can always change that over time. Colleges do like to see kids making a challenge. And what a challenge is for one student is not what a challenge is for another student. So that's why this is a very individual decision-making process for you. One thing you should always know about placement is in the end, the parent has the opportunity to waiver a class as long as you make that decision by May 1st. So if your child gets recommended for 4 honors classes, and you know that your child has lacrosse practice 5 days a week and the Boy Scouts on the weekends, and there is not going to be the time to put and study into all of these, you may say, in the interest of life and balance, we're going to pull back a little bit. You may also say, my student may not have gotten recommended in social studies, but this is their favorite class and I know they've got that interest and we're going to make that change. In the end, the parent has that opportunity. And at Walton, those due dates are the same every single year. Any changes you want to make for fall semester are due May 1st, and any changes for spring semester are always due November 15th. So what are the levels of classes here at Walton? Well, we offer 4 levels of all classes. Advanced placement classes. If you've never had a student in high school, you may not know about advanced placement. That is a national curriculum set by the College Board. They work with colleges all over the country to determine what does a college expect a student that has conquered, let's say, calculus, that's the class I taught, what do we expect a student to know? They give a test in May, and based on that test and their success and the score they get, then students can earn college credits. I will say, if you look at College Board's research, they will tell you even if a student never earns credit, their success in college based on completion of college and GPA in college is higher than a student that never takes any advanced placement classes. Honors classes. Honors classes have more depth of knowledge, there's more critical thinking, and these lead to our AP classes. Our college preparatory classes are solid college preparatory classes. One of my favorite things to do when we had homecoming last week is to talk to kids that are in college and say, how's it going? And they will tell me, I am prepared. That is what you want as a parent. Because let's be honest, the hardest part about that transition to college is the social piece. Learning to live with a roommate, meeting all new friends. And so when the classroom is that safe place and they feel academically solid, that gives them time to adjust to the rest of college life. And then we have level 3 classes. Some of our students need to move at a slower pace, have material chunked in smaller increments, and they need some embedded remediation. And we have level 3 courses for those. So what should help you determine when a child should challenge themselves, when they should be interested in honors and advanced placement? Really, a lot of it's about just interest. Do they have an interest in the subject? If you give me a lot of math problems to do, that makes me very happy. I may not want to read extra social studies. It's just what your child is interested in. And they need to be self-motivated and self-directed. Those classes will expect them to do a little more on their own. So the one area that sometimes is a little different is math, and they use some different language for their classes that I want to share with you. There are honors math classes. Those are more rigorous opportunities, and it allows our students who come in honors algebra 1 to have a path to calculus. But there's also accelerated courses in math. Accelerated courses have that increased rigor, but they also have an increased pace. So they complete a year and a half of curriculum in 1 year, whereas the honors course is just more rigorous, more critical thinking, but the same curriculum as the college preparatory course. Both types of honors courses earn that half extra quality point when you're thinking about GPA. We also have something called math support. Math support is where students take 2 math classes today. This allows for built-in remediation, built-in extra support, thus the word support, more practice time, more review. It is not a set curriculum in support. It just allows for that more processing time. Some of our students just need more time to process or more practice time with their teachers there to help. So we do have that in mathematics. Also at Walton High School, we have 3 important programs I want to make sure you are aware of, and to assure you that those students are still served as they move to Walton. So if your child is part of the special education program and they have an individualized education plan, all of that comes with them to high school. You will get a new case manager during pre-planning. They will contact and reach out with you. You also have an opportunity to meet with them during orientation. Interesting, when you talk about classes, support is determined by your IEP, and course level is still determined by the placement guide. So we have students with support in different kinds of course levels. So those 2 things have to blend together to make the perfect class for your student, and your case manager can help lead you through that. Our English language learners. We have in high school, because we are very content-based, we have teachers in English plus in some select other core courses that are dual certified. They're certified in our ESOL as well as the core content, so they know how to do that language development embedded in their regular course. We also have extra lunchtime support with a paraprofessional who works specifically with our students, as we do on web also. And our gifted students. Our gifted students are served through honors and AP classes, but that does not mean that honors and AP classes are reserved for only gifted students. Honors and AP classes are open to everyone. Our teachers are gifted certified because strategies that work with gifted students work with all students. So everyone in there can benefit by those strategies that are specifically developed for that type of learner. Also, some services that your child may be receiving in middle school that will continue on to high school is the response to intervention, or RTI. Your counselor will be the one that will continue that service with you. A 504 plan, again, that comes with you to high school, and your counselor is your main contact for that, and they will share those with the teachers. And then if your child has a health plan, Nurse Sandy Evans will reach out to you during pre-planning, introduce herself, make sure she has all the information she needs, and she is your contact there. So let's jump into graduation requirements and the classes your child will need to graduate. In English, every student must take 4 units of English. One must be the 9th grade literature class, and one must be the American literature class. There is a Georgia Milestones end of course test in American literature for all students. Mathematics, every mathematics student has to have 4 units of mathematics. In science, everyone must have a total of 4 units. One must be biology, that is where the Georgia Milestones test is taken. One must be physical science or physics. One must be either chemistry, earth science, environmental science, or an AP science. And then the 4th is an additional unit of your choice. Social studies. Only 3 units are required to graduate from high school. One of world history, one of US history, half of American government, and half of economics. Now, none of those classes are taught in freshman year, but we do feel that a freshman year social studies class is very beneficial to our students as they work into these other classes. Every student must take a half a semester of health and a half a semester of personal fitness. And students must have 3 units in combination, any kind of combination of career technology, world languages, or fine arts. They can take 1 of each. They can take 3 in one area, but it's 3 units. It is important to note that while world language is not required for graduation, because you could satisfy this requirement with a career tech or a fine arts class, the University System of Georgia colleges all require 2 units of the same language. And as you start doing research for colleges, you will find there are many colleges that require a 3rd. So by the end of freshman year, if you're finishing up your 2nd year of language, or whenever your child finishes up a 2nd year of language, if they choose to take one, you do want to take a look at that college requirement and make sure that you are not shutting any doors to any colleges that would require a 3rd year. So now I want to go through kind of class by class and talk about what are the classes that we offer and what are the expectations that students will take. So in English, our students take 9th grade literature. They take either world literature or the AP language course. They also have the opportunity during American literature to take the AP language course. It's the same course, either 10th or 11th grade. People choose different years for different reasons. Some students feel they need another year of language development and they want to wait to American literature. Some students feel like they're ready in 10th grade and they want to take it in 10th grade, but it's just an either or, whichever year you take it. But you will take world literature or AP language, and then American literature in junior year embeds the AP language because every student must have a Georgia Milestones in American literature. Senior year, multiple of options: British literature, dramatic writing, and AP literature. Mathematics. Now, you'll notice it says mathematics 21-22. I say that because in the year in the next year, the year after that, this is our current mathematics curriculum. This will be the current mathematics curriculum next year. The following year, Georgia State has adopted new math standards. So your child may actually already be in some of these classes, or they may be in Math 8. They will continue in these this is the series for next year, and then everyone will switch to the new standards. So we will be providing you much information next year as we get to the new standards. I actually went to a webinar last Thursday and got kind of like a little sneak peek at what's coming, but it is clear that this will phase out in 22-23 and everyone will start new in 23. So let's kind of just talk about the sequence. Honestly, no matter where you start, some of your children are already starting, some are not. Everybody's taking algebra, geometry, algebra 2, and pre-calculus. We offer that at the honors level. We also, if a student starts in honors algebra 1 and wants to get to calculus, we recommend they either do geometry and algebra 2 the same year in 10th grade, and or many students choose to take honors geometry over the summer between 9th and 10th grade to have that calculus option. And then we have students that are on the hyper accelerated track. And you have already started, your child's in the accelerated algebra geometry. So they're taking all of algebra, half of geometry. And when they come to us next year, they will take the rest of geometry and all of algebra 2. That will get us through freshman year, and then we will transition into the new standards and the new courses. So science. Science has so many options. It's great. So some of your students may be taking physical science in 8th grade. And that's a wonderful course, but it is not considered a lab science by the colleges. So we do offer freshman physics in freshman year. We offer it college prep and 3-level and the honors class. Freshman physics is a lab science, so it is not the same class as physical science. It's a good progression though, because science in 8th grade and the physical science is all physical science. So we feel like coming to high school, transitioning to high school, and starting in freshman physics, where you've just had that immediate physics background, sets you up for success. So we actually do physics in freshman year. Very different from other schools. We then do biology, and then everything opens up. As you can see from the graduation requirements, there's options here and there's options there, and kids tend to go towards the options that they love. Kids are usually either physical science people or biological science people. I am an engineer background. I love physical sciences. I would have been the chemistry, physics, AP physics person going down that road. My sister was the biology person. Biology, anatomy, biotechnology might have been more of an interest to her. We also offer many, many AP sciences. AP environmental science, astronomy's in there, forensics, 4 different kinds of AP physics, AP chemistry, and AP biology. And really your science selections needs to be about your interest and what you think you may want to do moving forward. So let's talk about social studies. Like I said, social studies, that first year class, we offer world geography and AP human geography. Those are not required courses for graduation, but we think they are great courses. They set students up for the social studies classes to come. I will say, you might be thinking, wait, you just said AP classes are about college. Why would you be offering that in the freshman year? Well, AP Human Geography is supposed to be taught at the high school level in 1 semester. And we found if we spread it out over a whole year, it's a very successful class for our freshmen. It's also super high interest. So we grab them right away in a high interest class. We have 5 incredible instructors, and they know that those students are going to need to develop skills. They spend a lot of time developing skills first semester and teaching background knowledge before they really get into the meat of the class. Wonderful class if your child has an interest. Next, when you are in 10th grade, your child's going to take some kind of American government 1 semester and economics the other semester. We do offer the American government class at the AP level. We also often offer an extra elective called AP Comparative Government. Students that really are interested in governments would be interested in comparing governments across the world. And in economics, we offer the AP Micro class, which is the class to graduate. We also offer AP Macro. A lot of our students that are going into the business world may take that. And you'll also see students that will cycle back around their senior year and take some of those electives because they really enjoyed it. And now, okay, I see myself going to business school. I want to take that extra elective my senior year when I wasn't ready for it in 10th grade. Every junior takes United States history, and that is the class where we have our Georgia milestones and of course test in history, and then world history in the senior year. Social studies is also one of those areas that they offer tons of electives and interest. They offer AP European history, AP psychology. They also offer a lot of electives. And one thing you have to understand when we start talking Hope Scholarship, which we're going to get into as we get to future transition meetings, Hope Scholarship is based only on your GPA in academic classes. We offer a lot of social studies academic electives. So even though they're an elective, they count towards that scholarship. Psychology, sociology, current issues, ethnic studies, technology and society, all great classes that help our students gain more academic electives as they start looking towards the Hope Scholarship. We offer 4 full year opportunities in French, Latin, Spanish, and Chinese. And I know some of your students are already here in the mornings that I see them when I come in. I run really early and come in and get ready in the mornings, and I pass them all coming in, or maybe I've passed you in the parking lot. We have students that are already starting to embark on Chinese and Latin, and I know that some are taking Spanish and French in the school day. So we do have those full course 4 more years if they're interested. We also have international travel whenever that comes back. Obviously, we've had to stop that during the pandemic, but we're hopeful maybe in the next school year we'll be able to offer those opportunities again. One other really unique program we offer is called the AP Capstone program. And this is something that the College Board developed, gosh, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. It's a newer development, the College Board. And they actually issue an innovative diploma at the end if the students take they take both courses, the AP Seminar course and the AP Research course. These classes really are based on analysis, research methodologies, argumentation, putting together an argument from sources. The AP Seminar course, part of that, the actual test is individual, but part of it's a group presentation. And then some students want to even take AP Research. AP Seminar is a kind of course that's very general to most people, but AP Research are for students who really want to dive into research. I am very lucky that they always ask me to be part of their IRB process. Having gone through a dissertation myself, I understand that process. And then to evaluate the final presentations. I cannot tell you some of the things kids are doing in high school, things I never imagined. They are researching and really just learning that research process. So that's for there's maybe 20, 25 students that are really interested in that kind of depth. But I wanted to let you know it's out there if you think you have a student that might be of interest to them. If students do those 2 classes successfully and have 4 other AP courses, then they do receive that diploma from the College Board. Now, we also have 2 special academies here at Walton, and we have students that are interested in all sorts of things, and students that don't really know what they're interested in, and that's totally fine. I still wonder what my next job's going to be some days. What will I do when I retire? So kids don't all know, but there are some students that walk in and they have a distinct passion for something already. If your child is coming home and talking to you about their Spanish class all the time and they're attempting to speak Spanish to anyone they can find, the International Spanish Academy might be for them. In the International Spanish Academy, our students take their 4 Spanish classes, but simultaneously, they're taking one of their humanities classes where more than 50% of the class is taught in Spanish. So they're immersing themselves in that language. It is really unbelievable. They also have the opportunity to earn a diploma from the Ministry of Education of Spain. Students who are interested in this really should be recommended for honors, 9th Lit, and AP Human Geography, because if you look at their path, they're going to be taking those highest level humanities classes paired with that Spanish class. They are having an informational meeting on November 18th, and they do have their own website if you want to go on and look and see some information about how to attend that meeting. We also have a Walton STEM Academy. Your child might be 100% that science kid, and that's what they're interested in, and they want to pursue that. There are 3 options: the biomedical science pathway, the engineering pathway, and the advanced math and science pathway. They take 4 years of major courses along with 4 specific honor science classes or AP science classes. In their senior year, every student must do a cumulative capstone project. They get an AP STEM Academy distinction on their diploma. Their information meeting is November 11th. I actually was part of the planning and the development of this, and it's been wonderful to see it grow over the years. I really would recommend you go and see what they're all about. They have some really interesting things, and keeping up with our students and seeing what they're doing after that has just been fascinating. So certainly encourage you to attend that if your child is interested in one of those areas. Now let's jump into our fine arts program. I actually was still at McEachern High School last night at 9:30 watching our band perform. It was breathtaking. If you have not seen them this year, they are having a community event on October 26th at 7 p.m. in Raider Valley. Certainly invite you to go out and see what the work they do. Not everyone in band is in marching band. It is an option. It is not a have to. So if you're not interested in marching band, they can still participate in band. Students may audition for higher bands, but most freshmen start in our concert band. You'll see the recognitions they've had, and they have 4 concert bands, 2 jazz bands, 2 percussion ensembles, and they have the Marching Raider Band. Also, interestingly, they have coming up very soon, they were invited to be in a wind symphony. They auditioned and were invited to be at the Wind Symphony. I think it's a competition at Georgia State coming this fall, December or January. Very, very excited to see them. That's the first time they have tried to get into that competition, so we're very proud of them. Our orchestra. We probably have one of the largest orchestras in the county with 400 students in 6 orchestras. Most of our freshmen start out in freshman orchestra, but they may audition for a higher orchestra. They are going to the Midwest. Midwest is kind of like the college national championship. If you were thinking football, it is the premier where you get invited if you are a top orchestra in this country. And they are going again in December. Quite amazing. Just incredible. And I have had the opportunity to I'm going to Midwest with them this year, but I've also had the opportunity to travel with them when they go to Austria, the Czech Republic, and Italy. And you would just not believe how impressed people are with orchestra at the high school level. They do just a fantastic job. Our chorus. Again, we are the largest program in Cobb County with 400 chorus members. They do a tour choir also. Probably one of the most special moments I've ever had at a Walton event was going and watching them sing at a mass at in Rome at the Vatican. Truly amazing. And just to see the priest actually came out and spoke to them in English. And the person guiding us, it was very specific, said, this never happens. But they were so phenomenal. But most of our freshmen come in and they started out in 9th grade treble and the 9th grade tenor bass class. So it's certainly one of the things I'm going to say near the end, but I guess I'll throw it in here, is I would suggest you look on our calendar, maybe sign up for our PTSA E-Blast a year early so you can see when things are. If your child loves the chorus, come to a chorus concert early. I know that some of our events are live streamed. Pop into some of those and just get an idea of what's going on. Visual arts. Now, many of your students may be taking art already in 8th grade, and that is fantastic. They will come in starting in that Drawing 1 class. Certainly follow art on Twitter or on Instagram. Our art, they have work displayed in so many places. They do a phenomenal job. We have a gallery up, so if you ever come to one of the concerts, you can go around the gallery and there are little QR codes and it tells you the story. Every picture up there right now in the gallery is related to COVID and how the students felt about COVID in the pandemic. And I think, so many kids can express themselves through art where they can't express themselves through words, and it's quite moving. But you will just see amazing work by them. So I certainly, and then if your child is not in art, they can start when they get here. We do have two levels of AP art. So students who are truly gifted in the arts may want to go through and take those rigorous courses in the area of art. Drama. We do offer technical theater and an acting introductory class for freshmen. Most of our drama students participate in drama as an extracurricular. They produce 2 shows per year, a musical and a play. They are nominated for multiple awards through the High School Musical Theater Awards every year. They are part of the International Thespian Society. I will say they have a play coming up the first week of November. It is PG-13, so I will put in that plug. But if you would like to get tickets, they will have that on their website shortly. They're also live streaming that this year. I know the students are really looking forward to getting back to perform this year live with an audience. Now I'm going to jump into career technology courses. We actually have two different areas that are business related, and then we do broadcasts. So we have a full business program: Introductory to Business Technology, Financial Literacy, Banking, Investing, and Insurance. In those classes, our students can get Microsoft certified in any area they want. They learn some Dave Ramsey. I think learning a little Dave Ramsey before you send them to college with your money is a great idea for all students. It's very popular, that class. Kids love it. So wonderful opportunity for students if that's something your student would be interested in. We also offer computer science, and our students jump into AP Computer Science Principles as the first year. They can then take an AP Computer Science class where they get more deep into programming. And then we have a third level that's advanced scientific research class where they really do design their own app, website, anything they want to. They create their own. So it's really an in-depth, that third year in-depth opportunity for students who have a passion in that area. We also currently have news broadcast, students that produce the news every morning. They entertain us and tell us very important things about the school. We also have an amazing graphic arts program. One of the things that happened when Walton was rebuilt through the SPLOST, they actually closed the school and recreated a new one. Might seem a little strange. We're still here on the same thing. But what that did was create new career tech programs in their entirety, which means you could get new federal funding. And so our career tech classes were able to bring all of their different equipment plus purchase brand new equipment. So state-of-the-art equipment down there. Dan Campagna, who is our teacher, he does Skills USA. We had a student win a national award last year in graphic arts. It's just, he really knows it. We have people that have started their own business based on what they've learned in graphic arts. Just phenomenal things going on down in his classroom. Our engineering program, we do have engineering through the STEM Academy. We also have engineering open to all students. Students start in engineering design. And what I would say about this is you think about students that they learn kind of like CAD drawing, and they may draw something, but then they create it. So one of the first things they do is this puzzle, and then they create it themselves. Principles of engineering, they use the VEX to build things and really link that to the physics that they've just learned in 9th grade. So that they already know the physics background, and now they're seeing it in real life. We also offer digital electronics and aerospace engineering. Students in our STEM Academy do take an engineering design class. And as a senior in college, I did senior design where you started from the beginning and created the whole thing. Our students are doing this in high school. The student on the right over there, they created a new windshield that got rid of the water at a quicker pace, and they design it, they test it out, and then you see they build it. I always get the opportunity, both the biomedical and the engineering program, STEM kids do this design project at the end of senior year, and I always get to go and watch them all, and amazing what these kids do and how they put all that information and learning together. Truly a wonderful program. Healthcare sciences. We are so lucky. Mr. Tony Hunter is our athletic trainer and healthcare science teacher and runs our home sports medicine program. But on top of that, we've had so much interest, we've pulled more teachers in to teach it. So Mandy Ryan, who's one of our teachers in the science area, she teaches biology and the essentials of healthcare. She was an EMT, so she has a healthcare science background herself. This really, what a wonderful program. We have some students, if your student is interested in healthcare science, and by that I mean anything, nursing, physical therapy, sports medicine, all those things can be covered. I think one of the best stories, we have a student right now. He is in college, and the college he went to does not allow students to start in sports athletic training as a freshman. It's only in the master's level. So he went and worked himself into an extracurricular spot and said, listen, I have this knowledge, I'm really interested. So they let him be part last year of their their athletic training program at the college as an undergraduate. He was so skilled and knowledgeable. As a sophomore in college, the football team gave him a scholarship to work with them as a athletic trainer. So these students that go through this entire program really come out with a solid background and so many opportunities. We have a partnership with Northside Hospital, and thanks to them, we also have 2 athletic trainers, full-time staff that work with our students and with our sports teams. PT Solutions also provides a full-time employee, and we have a team doctor through Northside. So when you think about the students' exposure in the classroom, they've got Coach Hunter and Miss Ryan, but if they get involved in the extracurricular piece of this, they've got this wealth of healthcare knowledge surrounding them to help them. So that leads us into some other opportunities at Walton. We do have a 0 period, which is a morning tuition. Students can choose to take a 7th class in the morning that is a paid tuition class, and we offer that class based on student enrollment and interest. So right now we do have an AP Human Geography class coming in the mornings, same time as the Chinese and the Latin students. Another thing that's really unique about Walton High School is our Walton Enrichment Block. It's usually on Wednesdays, but it can move around, and our students go to every class for 35 minutes instead of 52. At the end of that, at 12:42, the bell rings, and then they have 4 blocks of additional help. They can go, they're in their student view, and actually we've been working on this all semester, and students, it finally is working with, we've been working with the company, we've been having glitches. Students go into their student view, and they can sign up for the teachers they need to see. That means on Wednesday morning, while you're having breakfast with your child, you can say, I'd like you to go to math. Let's see you sign up for math during A block. We also think you should go to this. Let's see you sign up. And then you know what? As a parent, you can choose to pick them up. You can choose to decide whether or not you want us and my administration to follow through. Where did they go? Or do you want to have that flexibility to you make that decision? So lots of things available during web. Our classroom teachers are available. There's writing labs, there's a media center. We also sometimes have special projects. We always have a career fair our PTSA puts on in the spring. Fantastic opportunity. I know that they're having a guest speaker coming for Spanish in a few weeks. So different things happen, and those they're allowed to sign up week by week. And that way you can kind of see what they're doing during that time, and you can help them direct to the right places. As I mentioned earlier, another thing I really would, just to know the myriad of opportunities, I would love to name everything that goes on at this school for you, but I can't. There is so much, which is wonderful. We have teachers who give of their time before, after school, on the weekends to provide these opportunities. But if you sign up for our eBlast a year early, you will get every Sunday an email that kind of talks about everything that's going on. It always has our school calendar, might just help you to kind of, as you're thinking, where does my child fit in, help you to see all the different opportunities. Now, you may already know your child is very excited about Walton Athletics. We, like I said, I was just down at the volleyball match. They were winning their first round of state very handily down there. We have 21 varsity teams. We have won the state all sports trophy, which means how far you progress in state in every single sport, there's points assigned. And in the end, they award the highest point receiver. We have won that 8 of the 20 years we've been here at Walton, and that it's even been in existence. So we're very proud of that. We're very proud of the high level of competition we have. We also have some sports that are available for a student that maybe hasn't tried it. If your child has never been involved in a sport and they want to come out for cross country, Coach Gallagher is going to be happy to see them, and they can get involved in that. Their, football team is very inclusive. We have sports that are very inclusive, especially if you haven't tried it. We have a rifle team. So certainly want kids to try out, come out for athletics. And then we have a wonderful student section that comes and cheers. You'll see the picture at the bottom is our state championship lacrosse. So many people came out. And we have students that are very spirited and just want to support their classmates, and it's a wonderful environment. I want to talk a little bit about our academic recognitions. You might have seen this year that we had both the highest SAT and ACT in Cobb County. We're right up there in the top of the state too. Also, same with our milestones test. One thing that I think is really important, and I think just speaks to the everyday curriculum. There's always some people that say, oh, people just study for those tests. But really, if every day the curriculum and instruction is strong in schools, then test scores come naturally. And that's really what you see in the PSAT, which is that test that students take. In fall of their junior year, we had ours last week. Students who take the PSAT, that's how they become eligible for National Merit semifinalists, which, as you know, the National Merit Program provides scholarships and opportunities for students. The top 0.5% is who is awarded a National Merit semifinalist. Now, I have about 651 juniors, so you would think I would have 3 National Merit semifinalists. Right now, we have 35 seniors who are National Merit semifinalists. And it's that consistency in practice. It's the high quality instruction every single day, high quality curriculum and opportunity that gets us there. And for the last 12 years, we've had 351 National Merit semifinalists. So I feel like our every single day is really what builds to those kinds of successes. So I hope you have gotten the idea here that there just is so much at Walton. You have a good overview of what we have. There is a place for every student at this school. I can tell you, we had the homecoming dance on Saturday night. There were 1,500 students here. There is not a student that's not included. There's not a student that is not welcome. They had a blast. So everyone can find their home at Walton High School. So one thing that I think is really important to know, well, I haven't shared this yet, but I actually went to Walton High School and my parents moved here for the school and we grew up in this community. So it's really important to me that as community members that you are excited about your student to come here and you know that it is your school and it's part of that tradition of excellence comes from this community. And I want to read something. A student wrote me this last year and we're in the middle of the pandemic. We haven't been at school. I think and this student wrote me this letter and I asked her if I could share it with future families because I thought it was so touching. This is what she said. I've been a student at Walton High School for 4 years now, which sounds crazy to say. High school has flown by. I can honestly say that I have had the best high school experience a kid could ask for. I've genuinely loved it. Walton has done so much for me. It's hard to even put into words. These past 4 years, Walton has been my home. Like I am quite sure I've spent more time at Walton than my actual home. Walton has been my safe place. It's gotten me through a lot of hard times. Walton has forever changed my life and in the best possible way. Now, I think if every student can walk out the door and feel that way, then we've reached our mission to educate, inspire, and empower students every single day. And this is what we're all about, and this is our mission. I certainly want to thank you for joining us this evening, taking time to spend some time with me, and let me tell you a little bit about Walton High School. As you know, you've got the big picture now. We've got more things to come. If you want to go back and look at any of this, if you want to watch it again with your child, everything about articulation is on that website, and you can find things coming up dates. Hopefully by March, we will feel safe being all together because I really would love to meet you all in person. But I thank you for joining me tonight and have a wonderful evening.